Welcome to 1860 Minutes. We're here to talk about the siege of Vicksburg.
The leader of the Union Army, Ulysses S. Grant, faced off against the Confederate leader, Pemberton. Grant and his troops wanted to gain access to the Mississippi River and planned to do this by capturing Vicksburg, which was the Confederates' riverside stronghold. From May 19th to July 4th, 1863, the Union troops laid siege on the Confederate army. Controlling the Mississippi meant the Union could divide the Confederacy and achieve a huge advantage.
The Union had attempted to gain control over Vicksburg during earlier battles, such as the Battle of Chickasaw Bluffs, the Yazoo Pass Expedition, and Steele's Bayou Expedition, but this time the plan was to attack from the south and the east.
The Confederate troops withdrew to a place where direct attack on them would likely be unsuccessful. Grant knew he couldn't directly attack. At the same time, Pemberton was worried because he knew that unless he got reinforcements, his troops would eventually be overwhelmed. He asked for them, but none came.
Grant and his troops drove the Confederates back towards Vicksburg. Knowing that another Union leader, Sherman, and his troops were coming, Pemberton retreated into Vicksburg. As he retreated, Pemberton collected anything edible in his path. Once they were in Vicksburg, a Confederate soldier, Joe Johnston, asked Pemberton to surrender and save his troops, but he refused. The siege had begun.
The Confederate troops were wildly outnumbered. Grant had twice as many men. Expecting a quick ending, Grant assembled his troops and attacked the Confederates. The Confederates responded with fierce fighting, and many of the Union soldiers fled. As a result, the Union lost almost 950 soldiers and only killed 200 of the enemy troops.
Grant made Plan B. Instead of outright attacking, he would first weaken the Confederate troops with artillery shells, then get in a better battle position. At first, the plan seemed to work. Although the shells fired all night long didn't do much damage, they dampened the Confederate spirits. Unfortunately for the Union, when they finally attacked, Pemberton's troops again responded fiercely, and many Union soldiers died in vain.
Although the Confederates had won 2 battles at this point, the odds were not in their favor. They were still outnumbered and running out of supplies. Even so, Pemberton thought he could cut off the Union supplies by attacking Milliken's Bend. The Union responded with black troops who fought bravely, even with poor weaponry.
By now, it was June. Union soldiers dug trenches into Vicksburg and set off explosions under the enemy lines. The Confederate troops always filled in the holes that were being dug, but they were getting weaker. In fact, they were starving, and because of the great heat, the Confederates became even more discouraged. They knew they weren't going to win.
On July 3rd, Pemberton wrote a note to Grant saying that he offered unconditional surrender. Grant didn't want to be responsible for feeding all the soldiers once they were prisoners, so he let them all go. The date was July 4th.
And the Battle of Vicksburg was over. Thank you for watching.